Hey y'all, Taylor by Debbie here. Today I'm going to show you how to take a 14-inch wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. We're going to add some pipe cleaners that you can also get from the Dollar Tree. First we're going to make a working wreath form that we can then take and use to turn into a beautiful deco mesh wreath.
So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we need to talk about is the numbering on the bars. I like to start from the center of the wreath, and this is bar 1, 2, 3, and 4, working from the center out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to bar 3, which is our third bar from the center, and we're going to take a pipe cleaner and go underneath that crossbar where it meets in an X, and we're going to put that pipe cleaner on there. Then you want to try to even up your ends of the pipe cleaner, and you're just going to twist it 3 times. And this is what we're going to do on the third bar for all of these crossbars. There's a total of 6 crossbars, so we're going to do this 5 more times. And y'all, this doesn't take long at all to do. All right, now for the next layer, we're going to be moving toward the inner part of our wreath. And since there's no more crossbars and we want to place some in the middle, what we're going to do is we are going to go over bar 1 and bar 2. And we're going to pull that snug, but not so tight that you break the bars. Okay, just pull it snug and then twist it a couple of times, and then fold those pipe cleaners facing to the outside. By putting it over the 2 bars, it makes it a lot more secure. And y'all, that's all there is to making your own working wreath form that you can now take and turn into a beautiful deco mesh wreath. The mesh that I'm using today is 10 inches in width by 10 yards. So we're just going to take our wreath form and kind of move it to the side a little bit. We're going to unroll a little bit of the mesh. Then we're going to take our wreath form, put it a little bit to the side. I just want you to gather the end of the mesh just by putting it through your fingers like that. I like to move from left to right. So I'm going to place my mesh. This is my right hand. I'm going to place the mesh here with the open edge of the mesh to the left. Then we're going to twist it 1 time, pull it really tight, and then twist a couple more times. Okay. Then we're going to take this deco mesh and cut the rough edge off, leaving about 1 inch. That's all you need. All right. Then we're going to take this mesh, and you want to take your edges and kind of curl them under. You want them to kind of curl under right here as you're gathering. And we're going to get a ruler. I'm going to lay this ruler down, and we're going to start with the edge of the ruler right here. Now, if you have a cutting mat, that's great, but I wanted to show you, you can do this without having to have a cutting mat. Just lay your ruler down beside your wreath, and you're going to measure out 10 inches. Okay, because there's approximately 10 inches between, well, not quite, there's about 8 inches between each, but I want to make a nice big poof. So we're going to measure 10 inches from here to here, okay? And then we're going to take this and we're going to go on the other next outer. There's inner and outer places along our wreath frame. We're going to come here to the next outer pipe cleaner, and we're going to twist it in there just a few times. That's 1, 2, 3. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to take our ruler, slide it up here underneath our mesh, making sure our edges are kind of curled under just a little bit. Come to the 10. All right, and then we're going to come over here to the next outer pipe cleaner on the third bar. We're just going to lay that right on top, and we're going to twist it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. All right, now what I like to do is go around my wreath and fluff out those poofs Just kind of put your fingers underneath it and just puff it out. Make them nice and full, just like so. And now we're going to not cut this mesh right here. We're going to take this mesh and we're going to continue to go around our wreath to the middle section, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to still measure our 10 inches. This one's going to be a little bit long and poofy, but it's okay. You're just going to come from that outer ring to the closest inner ring that you have right beside it, and you're going to go ahead and put that poof in that wreath just like so. All right. Now we're going to lay our ruler right here, measure out to 10 inches, and then we're going to come right over here, come to this next middle one. We're going to lay it down right here, and we're going to do that until we get all the way around the middle ring. Then we're just going to leave a little more than an inch for good measure, cut it off, and we are done with our base layer. All that's left to do now, we kind of take this and just kind of tuck that cut edge just down between those two middle bars, and then just go around and fluff your poofs. Make them, you know, as nice and full as you can get them. You might need to fluff some of those outer ones again. I've just pulled the pipe cleaners all going straight up to get it ready for our next step. But first we need to cut some mesh that we're going to be making the next deco mesh pieces to add to our wreath. So I'm going to push this to the side. Now this is deco mesh, kind of a buffalo plaid style mesh that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and it is also 10 inches by 10 yards, and we're going to cut 12 pieces of mesh because we have 12 pipe cleaners that we need to add the mesh to. We're going to be cutting these into 24-inch strips, and that is the length of this mat. So you can do this one of two ways. If you have a rotary cutter, you can use it to cut, but I'm just going to place it here on the edge, and you see how I'm trying to just cut along the contour of those stripes right there. So that's one piece. We're going to go ahead and cut 12 of these. Okay, now we have 12 pieces of mesh cut, and I'm going to bring my wreath back over here, and we're going to be folding these. And let me put the wreath actually over here on this side so I can show you how we're going to be folding our pieces of mesh here. We're going to take the mesh, and all we're going to do is we're going to spread it out just like this, and the edges we're going to curl over. We're going to curl over each edge of the mesh a couple times, just like this. And then I'm just going to scrunch up the middle like so. And this makes what we call a cruffle. It's a combination of a curl and a ruffle. And I'm going to turn them upside down, and I'm going to place one of these inside each one of these pipe cleaners. And this is what is going to fill out our wreath and make it look full and beautiful. Okay. go, guys. That's all there is to making a beautiful deco mesh wreath base. I have a 13-inch ruler here, and we're going to make some ribbon tails to go into our wreath that we made here. I'm going to cut 12 of these 12 inches long. So what you can do is you can cut your first one and then use it as a template to cut the rest. Now we're going to fold 2 pieces of ribbon in half, and about 3/4 of an inch from the folded end to the open end, we're going to cut at an angle, and that's going to give us dovetails. So I've got the folded edge here. I'm going to cut up at an angle, and we're going to do that until we have all 12 of our ribbons cut in a dovetail. Hey y'all, Taylor by Debbie here. This is our next quick tip series on how to make a beautiful patriotic deco mesh wreath. The next thing I want to show you is a little trick that you can do. Right now at the Dollar Trees in my area, they have these patriotic wind chimes that are available where it has a string on the top and a little chain with a bell on the bottom. Well, I like to use these to add it to my wreath. So what I do, because it already has the holes, makes it really nice and convenient. You're just going to come down to the chain at the bottom, take a pair of pliers, and you're going to undo the little hook, the wire there at the bottom that's kind of in the shape of a hook. You just want to pull that wire back until you're able to easily slide this bell off, and you can save that to use in another craft. So now we have a hole at the bottom to use as a wreath attachment, and then on the top where the beads are, it's just looped on there with this twine. So you can just easily slide the twine through the loop right here, and those beads are going to stay on the twine, and then you just pull that loop out, and you can save this to use on some other craft as well. Now we have our ribbons all cut with dovetails, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our ribbon. And when you're learning how to do this, you can fold it in half to find out where the center is. Then you're just going to scrunch it up the middle like this, and we're just going to put one ribbon into each of our pipe cleaners. We're going to twist it 3 or 4 times. Then I like to take a wire cutter. These are diagonal cutters, something that you can use to cut wire. You can use scissors, but I don't want to dull my scissors, so I like to use my wire cutters. Twist it 3 or 4 times, fold that pipe cleaner over, then you just take your hands and kind of shape it. Okay, now I've done this enough, I know where the center is, but if you need to, you can continue to fold them in half to find your center. This time I'm starting from the outer ring, and we're putting our pipe cleaners kind of up and down, and then you put your ribbon in. First one again, tight, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to cut it off. And then we're going to take that pipe cleaner, fold it over down inside the wreath like that. Just take your hands and just kind of shape it. Just kind of shape it, round them out, and that's all there is to it. I'm going to do this to the rest of the outer, then we'll also add them to the inner, and I'll be right back. And there you have it. We have 12 ribbon tails now added to our beautiful deco mesh wreath. Okay, now that we have one of our signs ready to go, we're going to take 2 pipe cleaners. I'm just using dark pipe cleaners. We're going to put a 12-inch pipe cleaner on, fold it in half. Onto the back side, we're going to twist it a time or 2. Okay, so that we can use that to attach our sign to our wreath. Just going to twist it a couple times. Now we're going to bring our wreath over, and you want to try to attach your sign where there are crossbars, and the crossbars are more than likely where the outer wreath is on the ribbon right here, where we've attached that one to the outer. So you're going to kind of put your sign placed like this, where your pipe cleaners are kind of going towards two of those outer ring ribbons. Just kind of lay it there like that and turn it over. And then what you want to do is take hold of the pipe cleaners, and you want to try to thread them through from the front to the back over to one of these crossbars right here. Just kind of get that pipe cleaner to come through, and then you want to take one of these pipe cleaners, bring it on this side of that crossbar and this one on the other side, and then just loosely twist it a couple times. Okay, then we're going to feel up under here, see where that sign is, and find those other pipe cleaners, and you just want to try to work your finger through and then work your pipe cleaners through an opening in the mesh. Once you get both your pipe cleaner pieces over here, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pull it up like so, and then loosely just kind of twist it. And then we're going to flip it over and look at it and kind of see what we've got going on. Now what we want to try to do is get that pipe cleaner tucked down in between the mesh the best we can, so we can kind of pull part of this cruffle over this side a little bit, just to kind of hide it the best we can. And then we can take that one and kind of pull it over. So just a little bit of the pipe cleaner is showing on either side, y'all, but that's all there is to it. Now we're going to turn it over, and we are going to add a hanger. Okay, so let's go ahead. We want to go ahead and trim off the excess pipe cleaners here, and then just tuck that tail of those twisted pipe cleaners. This one we're going to go ahead and tighten it down just a little bit more, because we left it kind of loose to make sure we had the placement correct. You don't want to pull the sign down so tight that it sinks way down into your wreath. You want it to just kind of be sitting up on top of your wreath. So we've tucked those down. Now to make a hanger for this wreath, this is the top, and you can verify it. I just peeked at it to make sure that I'm looking at the top. You can just take a pipe cleaner and go over those outer two rings until you have enough here to twist. Okay, then you're just going to twist like so. All right, and then just tuck that tail down in behind, and then you're going to come over here about the same place over here and do the same thing. And then you've got a nice hanger that you can hang your wreath on, because when you place the sign the way I did for this particular sign, this would be where the wreath would hang. So it'd have to hang on one side of that crossbar, and it'll make it not hang straight. So it's best to put a hanger on there, just like so. And then this is what you can hang your wreath up with. And there we have it.
And you end up with a beautiful patriotic wreath that you can use in your home decor for all of the patriotic seasons. Please like the video and drop me a comment down below. It helps my channel so much. Subscribe and click the bell so you'll always be notified when I put up new videos. Thank you so much for watching.